Not all business advice you get from smart people are actually good. So in this video, I want to share with you some of the worst advice that I got in business and how maybe you could avoid it. So when it comes to the first advice that I got, it's around copywriting. Now, for many, many years, we've always used copywriters from overseas. We've always tried to write our own copy. And a few years back, when we started scaling our business, it was one of those things where my mindset changed to, you know what, I want to pay to get, the goods. I want to stop being a tight ass, for example, and really go and take my business to the next level by, willing to invest in a really good expert in whatever fields that we have. And of course, when it comes to growing your business, you're always constantly thinking about, is what we're saying on the website good? Does the clients really understand what we're trying to say? And so it's one of those things where we wanted to experiment and go, okay, let's just rewrite this website and make it so powerful that it's going to convert leads. So not that we couldn't convert leads using the copywriting that we had internally or all the things that we've done, but it was just taking the business to the next level. And so then we were recommended to use an expert who was Australian based, years of experience in copywriting. And when it comes to charging a lot of money, in the high thousands of dollars, you thought, you know what, if I'm going to pay a lot, I'm going to get this 6-star experience and my business is going to, go to the next level. So that's what really happened. Now, we were so excited when we got started with this service because it was very different to what we've experienced in the past with copywriting. Usually, the copywriter would just start writing and we kind of just winging it in a sense. But when you work with an expert, they kind of take you through a process. So for example, workshopping, understanding your customer avatar, their problems, their pain point. And we were like, this is going on the right track. But then when we received the copywriting deliverables, when we got the results, we were like, what is this? There's just so much content. And we actually asked them, okay, so are you expecting us to put all of this onto the website? He's like, yes. And we're like, how do we even fit it into the website? Like there's just a lot of words. And also, aren't you going to tell us exactly like which part of the website to change? Or maybe the headline, this needs to change, or this part, this word needs to change. It's like, no, my job is to give you all of the copy and then you just figure it out how you're going to place it in. And we were like, oh my God, this is really different. And so we would challenge it along the way and they're like, but the person would go, hey, you're paying me. Wouldn't you want to listen to me? Because there's no point in paying me if you're not going to listen to me and doing your own thing. So we really wanted to unlearn what we learned and really just trusted the expert. So we're like, okay, right, we're going to figure this out. And so we basically tried to fit in everything that was written and put it on the website. And even when we read it, we're like, oh, even we can't even digest this, because it's just words and words. And even though it's explaining the pain points of the clients, it was just almost like an essay or blog. And so then once again, we were rejected back with like, no, if you want to take your business to the next level, you got to test, you got to try it out, years of my experience has shown that people want to read more. Stop assuming that people know what you're selling or their pain point. And so it really made sense. So we took on that advice, and as much as it felt really wrong, like we were like, even we have short attention span. We should actually be, wanting content that was short and to the point. But we didn't listen to our gut feeling and went with it. And so when we rolled it out, we saw crickets. Not only did we not get the growth in traffic or conversion, it was actually going backward. And we just were holding on to like the first week, a month, and then we started just really tracking the performance of the website. And we just knew it wasn't working. And so it was one of the worst advice that we got. And it really taught us that just because you're paying for someone premium, someone local, it could be someone recommended, but if you haven't got that experience in copywriting or you don't have any business friends that maybe can share with you some of their experiences, you're going to be stabbing in the dark and just hoping that this will turn out right. And so, nowadays I'm part of an organization called EO, Entrepreneur Organization, and we're placed in a group of other entrepreneurs and, we get to ask questions like, hey, not only do we ask, like, do you know a great copywriter, but we also go, what experience have you had with copywriting? And there's hundreds of members in Sydney alone, let alone there's thousands around the world. And I think if I could turn back time, I would rather, talk to other entrepreneur friends who've gone through that journey and can really tell me the different things that they've tried out, and then really follow that advice. And this is why it motivated me to start the EO podcast, which is the EO Entrepreneurs Sydney and Asia Pacific's YouTube channel that I've started interviewing. And my angle is around challenges. What challenges did you go through so that you could share, so that we can all learn from? Another experience that I could share around bad advices is that I hired a business coach thinking, once again, I'm ready to pay for real information and I want to be able to take my business to the next level and stop trial and error my business. I really wanted to learn from someone who can mentor and guide me. And so this was my first time that I kind of paid once again, in the thousands of dollars per month to a coach. And once again, I was excited. And now I found this coach because I really love this particular book. And this coach was actually trained and certified and can actually deliver this kind of method. And so we started working together, and all of a sudden, COVID hit. And what happened with COVID was, it was the first time that we ever experienced anything like this. So I went into panic mode. I was starting to think the worst case scenario, like, okay, if clients cancel because their clients cancel, what if they don't want our business anymore? And what if our revenue just go down from, this to nothing tomorrow? And so I started to think really, I was afraid. And to add with that, I was glad I had a coach who's like, okay, this is what we're going to do. And now looking back, it's kind of silly because even this coach wouldn't know what to do because it's COVID time. He doesn't know. But the main advice that he was sharing that was really weird was, and I really regret it, was the fact that he wanted me to get everyone to get onto sales. He's like, okay, now that sales are going low and it could go lower because of COVID, people aren't spending. Instead of having one salesperson, let's make all of your team members become salespeople. And so here I am calling up my team, urgent and emergency meeting, and said, hey guys, I don't care what your role is. If you're a web developer, a designer, I want you to think back of all the clients you've ever worked with and start writing it down, who they are, and what kind of service can we sell for them. And don't worry about the current service we have. Whatever they want to do, let's do it for them. Even if it means 10 hours a week, even if it's just an ad hoc task. I really thought that this coach was correct. It's like, hey, when it comes to wartime, everyone pick up their gun, shoot, right? And so we got everyone to start calling up old clients, leads, everyone, and say, hey, how are you going in business? What do you want help with? And because we can help you, and, we'll do anything for you. And we just keep getting rejected because people are like, sounds great, love it, but I'm really not sure what's going on in my business either, and I don't know, I'm not ready to spend. And then I also created a bit of resentment within my team. Even my own ops manager at the time was going like, I'm not even a salesperson. Like, this is feeling really uncomfortable having to do this. I mean, I don't mind doing it, but do we really have to all do this? And so I was like, yep, we have to. And then another advice that the coach said was, I think you need to get rid of, some of these stuff because they're not willing to do it. And this is tough times. You need to start cutting out people. And so then, at least I didn't listen to the second one. So the second one, I was like, no, this is a phase we're going through. If anything, I want us to come together stronger and really fight through this. Yeah. And there's no way I'm going to get rid of anyone. If anything, I'll suck it up. I'll pay myself less, whatever it is. I'm not going to get rid of my team. I've already tried this kind of, getting everyone on sales, which isn't working. You know who I need to get rid of? I need to get rid of this coach, because through the experience, the coach was also kind of creating this, bad feeling I have, because they're kind of in a way backstabbing or like talking bad about the team and what I need to do. It almost felt like he was creating, if anything, toxic and turmoil in this time. And I felt like as a leader, I was never that type. When it comes to problems, challenges that a company goes through, if anything, we need to come together stronger, loving, and just, not kind of crumble through fear. And so I would say that the worst advice was this, because now I look back during COVID time, no one wants to spend. If anything, I could have used that time to relax, to actually go, let's just take a chill pill for a bit, observe what's going on. How about we go and serve our existing clients? I mean, either way, if we can just kind of help our clients to achieve more, maybe they won't cancel. And what if our team spends that time to learn, to develop, and just take that time that they normally wouldn't have to actually work on themselves and not panic. And so I think one of the thing I learned about is that during panic mode, and especially during that time when everyone is suffering, it's the worst thing to do is trying to sell more to people. So what I've learned about hiring this coach, I had to get rid of the coach and realize from now on is that I want to also, if I was to work with a coach or a mentor, they need to have the experience in growing their own business, maybe in the same field as me, in the same industry as me, but overall they need to have been a successful business owner rather than just earning money through learning how to be a coach and then coaching people. And so that is another lesson that I've learned, and I hope that you've taken away something from these two things, which ultimately comes down to the one pattern here is just because you're paying for someone expensive and they have the experience and certification, qualification, I think it comes down to having, entrepreneur peers or someone that you know to actually give you some experience share on the different ways that they've utilized each of these services other than just giving you a recommendation of a person. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Love to hear in the comments below if you have any questions for me. And otherwise, I'll see you again in the next video.